Welcome to the show, lads and lassies. I'm Billy Galligan, and I want you to picture a very specific kind of purgatory. It is June of 2002. It is 5:30 in the morning. Outside the window, the streets of Ireland are dead quiet, wrapped in that gray pre-dawn mist. But inside my kitchen, the toaster is smoking, the kettle is screaming, and I am clutching a mug of Lion's tea like it is a lifesaver in a storm. This was the great upside-down World Cup of South Korea and Japan. For the first time, we weren't gathering in crowded, noisy pubs at 10 of a Friday night with a pint of stout in our hands. No, we were huddling around the pale blue glow of a television screen in the pitch black, bleary-eyed and shivering, trying to process high-stakes athletic drama before our brains had even fully registered the daylight. But before a single ball was even kicked in Asia, the entire nation of Ireland had already torn itself to pieces. It was the Saipan Civil War. You see, our legendary captain, the fiercely intense Roy Keane, took one look at our training facilities on the island of Saipan, the concrete pitch, the lack of footballs, the terrible preparation, and he absolutely lost his head. When the manager Mick McCarthy confronted him in front of the squad, Roy didn't just push back. He unleashed a verbal volley that is still quoted in Dublin like scripture. He told Mick, "You're a liar. You were a crap player. You're a crap manager. And the only reason I have any dealings with you is that somehow you're the manager of my country." Just like that, our best player was sent packing. The country split right down the middle. You had Keane loyalists who thought Mick was a clown, and you had McCarthy defenders who thought Roy was a traitor. People were literally falling out with their own brothers over breakfast. And there we were, sitting on the sofa in the early morning light, watching this soap opera explode before we'd even finished our first cup of coffee. Sure, why not? It wouldn't be an Irish World Cup campaign without a bit of absolute chaos to start us off. But on the pitch, the lads played like men possessed. In our opening match, Matt Holland hit a low rocket of a shot to rescue a draw against Cameroon. And then came Germany, the mighty Germans, with the giant Oliver Kahn in goal, looking absolutely unbeatable. We were 1-0 down, deep into stoppage time. It is the 92nd minute. Niall Quinn flicked a high ball on, and there was Robbie Keane sprinting through the gap. He took it on his chest and smashed it past Kahn into the roof of the net. Now, normally, you'd let out a roar that would shake the foundations of the house. But at 5:30 in the morning, with the family sleeping upstairs and the neighbor's bedroom right through the wall, you couldn't make a sound. I had to do a frantic silent victory dance, desperately balancing a boiling hot mug of coffee in one hand, silently waving my arms like a lunatic in the dark, whispering, "Yes, you beauty." It was pure madness. We made it to the knockouts, only to face Spain and Suwon. We fought back with a 91st minute Robbie Keane penalty to make it 1-1. It went to a shootout, and that's where the dream died. David Connolly, Kevin Kilbane, and Matt Holland all missed their spot kicks. It was devastating, but when the team got back to Dublin, over 100,000 of us packed out Phoenix Park just to tell them, "You'll be grand." They were heroes. And the rest of the world was having an equally wild ride. This was the tournament where the giant favorites fell like dominoes. France, the reigning world and European champions, crashed out in the group stage without scoring a single goal. Argentina went home early too, completely shocked by England. Meanwhile, the underdogs ran riot. Senegal made their debut and beat the French on opening night, and the United States pulled off a stunning 3-2 victory to dismantle a brilliant Portugal side. And then you had the host nation, South Korea, marching all the way to the semifinals under absolute waves of refereeing controversy. Their knockout matches against Italy and Spain were pure theater. Francesco Totti got sent off for a phantom dive, and the Spaniards had two perfectly good goals disallowed. It was the kind of officiating that made you squint at the screen and wonder if you were still dreaming in the early morning haze. But the ultimate story of 2002 belonged to Ronaldo, not the Portuguese one, but the original Brazilian phenomenon. 4 years after his heartbreaking medical mystery in the Paris final of '98, and after two devastating knee reconstructions that nearly ended his career, he returned. He sported the most ridiculous triangular haircut ever conceived by human mind. He later admitted he did it so the press would talk about his hair instead of his knees. And it worked. He scored 8 goals, including both in the final against Germany, to win Brazil their 5th trophy and complete the greatest redemption arc the sport has ever seen. When I look back at 2002, I realized that was the summer the global clock of my mind shifted. The games didn't live in the pub anymore. They lived in the quiet, cozy corners of our own busy homes. It was a tournament of wild upsets, triangular haircuts, and silent kitchen dances. And as we pack up the memories of these 7 episodes, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Where were you when the world gathered around the ball, and who was sitting next to you? Until the next kickoff, lads, keep your eyes on the ball.